What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Content Corner with your boy Herb and your boy Lens. That's Lens right over there,
What's up, everybody?
sitting, chilling, doing his
Chilling.
thing. And I'm Herb. What's happening?
You seem
He's
very
he's.
energetic today.
Oh, I just aced the test, so yeah,
Good
I
job.
am
Look at you, smarty pants.
exactly. I work for this. I work hard because it's like Vegeta said: first immortality, then the bitches.
So is your major in immortality?
Kind of, if you really think about it. Engineering. I'll make myself a robot body, put my brain inside of a robot. I live forever. Psh, immortality.
Pushing it. Yeah, I think you're pushing it.
Listen, man. Listen, man. I got this. I got this. Soon I'll be the first like true cyborg on this
True
planet.
cyborg. Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, speaking of brains, let's talk about the movie Unknown from 2011 with Liam Neeson. The brief overview going into the movie you should know is that Liam Neeson gets into an accident in while traveling on like a trip with his wife in Germany, and when he awakes from a small coma,
Short coma.
short coma,
Barely even a
yeah,
thing.
barely even a thing. Someone is now him and has taken his identity. This movie's 10 years old. But I just we just saw it for the first time. Going back checking out some older movies that seemed good, and this was Liam Neeson in I don't want to say his height, but he was still like a pretty big, like a fairly big name
You know,
back
he
then.
was doing stuff back then. That was
So
the Taken One era. The
exactly
post Qui Gon Jinn.
post a Batman, aka Ra's al Ghul.
Word. Wait. Didn't the first Batman come out like what 2000? I want to say like seven, but I'm probably wrong about that. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about that. Anyway, I know it's
Anyway,
after that era.
yes. But yeah, so decided to check it out and just see how it goes. Oh, it's 2005, by the way. Batman Begins, 2005.
I was off by 2 years. Right.
So 6 years after, and yeah, so we decided to check it out, and this honestly, I thought it was a pretty good movie.
I
You
thought it was
know,
okay.
if like the plot isn't super heavy. I would say it's kind of a suspense action, right?
Um, Suspense. Yes, action. Sort of mystery, but it doesn't really like push mystery that hard.
It doesn't. So yeah, overall, if you're a fan of like Liam Neeson movies from back then, I recommend it. It's a good watch.
I mean,
It's
I
not
mean,
like what.
it's a classic Liam Neeson movie. Like it's exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah, and then with that, it's like it's not a movie I'd see twice. Definitely not.
A one and
It's one
done
of
for
those
you.
one and done movie for me. Definitely.
It's the type of movie I'm glad I watched on Netflix instead of
Yeah.
like in theaters.
Yeah, yeah. Though nowadays there are more movies coming out that I wish I could see in theaters. Like I wish I could have seen Tenet in theaters. Would have been great.
Yeah, I mean we can, but like, I mean,
I mean, we can. I
asterisk,
won't right now, given the climate.
asterisk on that one. But
Mm, big old asterisk.
yeah, man. Like, here's the thing about this movie. I think it was just, I don't want to say uninspired, but it was kind of like just a regular old action movie. You know, regular action movies nowadays don't cut it for me.
Yeah,
Like there needs to
true.
be something about it. You know, like
I definitely think probably would have enjoyed it more if I saw it back then. You know,
yes,
10 years ago.
I think we're spoiled.
I think.
I think that's what it
Yeah.
is. We're spoiled with good action movies. You know, like he did Taken One. Taken One was fantastic. Like the Jason Bourne movies were great. Um, Freaking The Raid changed up like everything since like it completely changed the action world. Then we like got the John Wick movies, and action has evolved, and this is that pre-evolution action movie.
It is, and definitely it's because movies have evolved. It definitely feels like not as good, and that's gonna happen. As things get better, and if it doesn't stack up, yeah, it's gonna feel whack, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I mean, like unless it's a classic, right? Like this
Yeah,
movie simply did not stand the test of time.
it
10,
did not.
10, 10 years later, and it's kind of like, I mean, it's okay, like decent
Yeah.
plot. Like we're sitting here just like, all right, who betrayed him? Who's in on the fucking plot? Who
hmm
fucking like? What do you mean he doesn't know who he is? And or what do
As
you mean
mentioned
he's not who
before,
he is?
as mentioned before, because of in like a past episode at some point, because of Gone Girl, I've lost all faith with like wives in cinema. I've lost all faith with wives in cinema because of Gone Girl. Real life obviously is a different story, but in terms of movies,
Yeah, bro,
I'm gonna blame the wife 100% of the time.
I can't be trusting nobody after that movie.
I can't, bro. Like, I really can't.
Like it's funny,
Like the
like
second,
the first couple, like the first like 2 minutes into the movie, right? He know like he knew the premise before coming into the
Mhm.
movie, so he's like sitting there and like they're in a taxi, and then like they get out of a taxi to like check into their hotel, and he kind of like he forgot his bag at the airport, so he goes back to get it, and then the wife like looks at him and like gives him a look. Herbert's like, fucking cheating ass bitch. Like, what the fuck are you planning? Like, what does that look for? Like his
oh my,
suspicions immediately, and then like after the accident, because he has an accident. He's at the hospital, and the nurse gives him a look, and he's like, "Yo, these fucking bro, what is your fucking problem?" I'm like, "Yo, I didn't see anything." It's like, "Nah, did you not see that sus ass
no,
look on her
no, no.
face?"
The nurse was not me. The nurse was Ellie.
Oh
I
yeah,
trusted the nurse.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, well,
I
you're both
trusted the nurse.
you're both suffering from the same con girl syndrome.
But you know what it is though? The reason I trusted the nurse is because she wasn't his wife.
I suppose so.
That's it. I didn't trust his wife because Gone Girl shows me in movies you can't trust family in movies. Fucking kidding me?
Oh man, shit
But
is
like
wild.
it is, and so overall, seeing it now, I give it like a 5.5. It's nothing crazy, but it's a fun watch.
Um,
I don't know.
6, 6.
You give it a 6?
I'll give it 6 because it's like
Point what?
no, not that I'm not you. I don't give these stupid fractional scores. Like the most I'll do is one decimal place, and I'll probably round it to the nearest 5. But
But yeah.
yeah, like it. If 5 is just that was a movie. That was that like not offensive. Like just it didn't. It was just a movie. You didn't like it. You didn't dislike it. If that's what a 5 is, I give it a 6. Like I liked it. There are certain
Mhm.
parts of the movie I was like, oh, that's cool. I enjoyed the kinda mystery aspect about it, and the reveal of like what is actually going on. I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't see it
Mhm.
coming. I didn't see it coming. You got me. But
Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, it's like it's whatever.
Um. So now that that's our
Your dad hyped it up
spoiler-free
too much.
review. So my dad did hype it up. Like once he told me that, I was like,
He's like,
"Word."
yo, I love it.
But
I'm not even gonna tell you. Oh my god.
though, you know what I realized something.
Mm.
So now that like I've watched it, right? I can wholeheartedly say I understand where he's coming from because my parents they tend to not watch any of the newer movies. They tend to watch movies like as they're free to watch from like where they like get it from the library or something like that.
Mm.
So they don't know. Well, they now know John Wick, right? But I think they saw that before John Wick and
Before
stuff
it
like
come
that.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before the true calling of action movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, if I showed them The Raid, if I showed them, other like movies of that caliber, of the same caliber as like John Wick, then they would probably not enjoy it as much. But because that is kind of their standard for action at the time, still like they're still at that level of action. So I'm like, you know what? I can understand that.
That's
I can
fair.
understand that.
10 years
Like,
ago, I would have probably given this movie an 8.
yeah, I probably would have been like, yo, so that was dope.
Yeah.
But
We are
not right
spoiled.
now. I'm spoiled by like higher levels of action cinematography. Especially
Oh
because
man.
I'm getting really tired of movies that like for fights to throw a single punch there's like six cuts in that punch.
Yeah, like choreography teams kind of now have to like go way out of their way to like impress people. Like we've seen it all.
Like at this point, the most impressive scenes are the ones. It's funny. The most impressive fight scenes tend to be the ones that of like in the style of what Jackie Chan's been doing for years, man. Just like longer cuts. You see what's happening. It's not like this
Yeah.
like.
Well, longer cuts and like usage of like environment, right? It's not just like, oh, I punched you or kicked you. It's like, oh, there's a table there. Like I can use this table for like maneuvering, for like defense, for the attack. Like like Jackie Chan is a master of like showing that his characters improvise and adapt and overcome.
Overcome. We're here. We're here.
We're
It's cool.
here. It's true though.
But like going with that, it's something that really quick on since we mentioned Jackie Chan, something that someone's once said about his movies that is I like after hearing it and thinking about it is true. For a lot of, if not all of Jackie Chan's fight scenes for like movies that he makes, right? Not like the big Hollywood movies, but like the
Hmm.
ones that like he made in the past, and even still when he's like a big role in it in the choreography, it's that a lot of times, if not all the times in his fights, he puts himself at a disadvantage. Oh,
Mm.
he's stuck in something, or like, oh, he's already hurt, or he just fell from something. He's at a disadvantage. So when he does come out on top, it's an earned victory. You know what I mean? Because he had to fight his way from essentially disadvantage to a victory.
Yeah. I do like that.
And
It makes it more exciting, and you're like, oh shit, how is he gonna get out of this?
exactly, and I mean, like we know he's gonna get out of it. That's the whole point. We're here for the movie, obviously, but it's about how,
Word.
which is what we're wondering about. That is the big question that we want answered. So that being said, if I watched it back then, hype. Now, not so much.
I'm not so hype. Not so hype.
Now that we've covered the spoiler-free talk, if you want to go watch it, you can check it out. It's on Netflix. There you go. It's called Unknown. And if you don't, you just want to hear about it from us, well, stay. There you go. Uh, so first off, I called it. His wife was in on it. I knew
I mean, he wasn't wrong.
I
Yeah.
fucking knew it.
Like
Oh my
I
god.
the moment he showed up at the hotel right after 4 days, and well, here's the first thing: was anybody looking for me? He was like, oh well, we'll see. I was like, well, all right, hang on, you're missing, and nobody was looking for you. Like your wife didn't go to the police. Where is he? Like I expected like her to like you wake up and she's like there's like, oh my god, fucking Martin, you're here, you're alive. But no, like she's not
But
there,
no.
not looking for her, and like you have to go look her out, bro. How do you wake up from a coma and you got to go find your wife? Like what? So the first, like from
Already
then
sus.
I was like
Already sus.
sus, bro, and I'm like, oh, and she's still attending the party like nothing's wrong. What? Hella
Mm-hmm.
sus. And then like you show up, it's like Liz, who are you?
Who
All
you?
right, all right, you're definitely in it. You have to be in on it. You have to be in on it.
And then they
Willingly
try to give
or
us the red herring.
unwillingly, you're
And
fucking.
then when they try to throw us that like red herring of like, oh, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, they'll kill us both if they see me, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it's like I
And I'm
can't get
like,
out.
yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, maybe, I don't know though.
See,
I
the
don't
thing is,
know.
when she said that, right, I can't get out, and I was just
Uh,
like, I still don't trust her because she could have done more,
mm-hmm.
right? She could
100%.
like if you're like trapped on the inside, like you're looking for a way out, and you're not just going along with the thing until like whatever plan is executed, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to like get out. So I was just like, no, no. If she's really not in on it, like, where's the like slip of the no or the wink or the meet me at this location or
Well, she
well,
did have to meet
she
me at this
yes,
location.
but she didn't initiate contact. That's the thing.
Yes,
He
she did not.
initiated contact. Meaning that she was just like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Like literally, like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What is he doing here?" You should have been like, "Oh shit! Like I'm alone. We're like, and you're alone.
We're
We can like,
alone. Yes.
yes, fucking dope. This is like what I've been waiting for." No, none of that. Just,
No.
ugh, I
No.
have to deal with this motherfucker now. Like that's the fucking attitude I got. So I was like, "No, fuck out of
Uh,
here."
I will say I did not expect the twist where he was actually an assassin,
Word.
and that he just his memory loss made him believe
His
the
cover
cover
story.
story.
Yeah, that
It
was the twist, and I was like, you know what? That was a good twist. That was a good. That was a
was.
very good twist.
It was solid. It was super solid.
Because like,
But
because at a certain point, I was like, yo, how far does this rabbit hole go? Like when like
mm,
Ron, I think is Ronald, his friend Ron from like for like 15
Ronald, I think,
years,
yeah, Ron something, yeah, something
something
like
or
that.
other. It doesn't really matter. And he said
Yeah.
like he contacted like he got in contact with him, and like the investigator was just like, oh yeah, like I know what this is. And then he killed himself because he was just like, you're an assassin. I was like, I bro, like, I bro, like, you mean to tell me that they waited 15 years? Like, this is a plan 15 years in the making? No fucking way. There has to be something, right?
Turns out it was 2 years in the making.
It was 2 years in the making. And Martin, what's his face, doesn't really exist. So
Yeah,
I
Martin
was like,
Harris.
yeah, Harris. That was a good twist. I was,
Which I will say, I'm more impressed with the fact that like the heads of like, so he was talking about the dude's research with him, right? The target's research with him,
yeah.
which means for 2 years he had to like fake knowledge that he had to learn about stuff so that he'd be able to actually communicate with him about it. Because like to talk about someone with their research, if you don't know what's going on, they're gonna know if you don't know what's going
Word,
on
you're
because
gonna be
you're gonna
like,
be like,
you didn't get this fucking degree, you fucking liar,
mm-hmm.
right? Bro, that was so like the level of dedication. I was like, this is pretty fucking like good. And
Mm-hmm. And the
so
fact they had a backup assassin.
the backup assassin. So like when he got in contact with a backup assassin for the first time, right? Well, for the second time at the doctor's office at Bresner's
Mm-hmm.
or whatever his name is, and then they were
Yeah.
essentially reciting their lives, the fake life to this guy. I was like, what the like? Because at this point we don't know that he's an assassin, and this is just like his group of people, right?
Yeah.
So I was just like, yo, how much of their life, of this man's life, did they fucking like research?
It was
You got gifts from his dad. You got fucking
private
like private
conversations.
conversations. You got like, oh, on a honeymoon, like she like turned to me and she said this, and you talked to me about your daughters and like their hopes and their dreams and all this shit. I'm like, my guy, this is ridiculous.
This is next level.
Next level, like life stealing shit. But yeah, which led me, well, it leads you in the wrong direction, right? It pushes you more and more towards the like he got his life stolen, then it
Yeah.
pushes you towards the life is fake. But if you go
Yeah.
back and you're like, okay, everything makes sense. Everything here makes perfect sense of why.
Yes, because like they
And
know the story because they came up with the cover story
yeah,
together.
exactly. But damn, bro, like that. I think that's the one like really good part about the movie. Despite me giving it a 6, like that's the one good part. I was just like, this was a very well crafted like twist.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Other than that, the action was like meh. Some of the car chases or car chase, one car
Car
chase,
chase.
one car
One
chase.
car chase.
That was not bad.
I was like, it made sense. What? Because at the time I'm like, how do you know how to drive like this if you're a doctor?
Word.
How?
I was like, yo, he's making some real bold moves for your Sunday driver.
but then we realize, oh, it's because he's an assassin. That's why he knows how to drive like this.
Word. There's one part during the car chase, right? Um, the the guy who was chasing them, he was driving through those pillars. You remember
Yeah,
that? Like he was like on the sidewalk, and they have like pillars in between the road and the sidewalk because it was like an
yeah,
overpass.
yeah,
He was driving in there, and then like Liam Neeson was driving on the outside.
yeah,
And then at the end of the block is when the pillars ended and like and all that stuff, and they both turned there.
yeah.
I was just like, why didn't Liam Neeson just turn sooner? Like
The pillar's gonna fuck this man over right now.
this dude's going full speed right now. He can't leave. He has to go to the end of the block. He has to,
Yep.
or like, and if you turn around, he has to like stop, reverse, or do some stupid bullshit maneuver. I'm like, bro,
Mhm.
just like Papa Yui, real quick, just like screw,
Just
like
pop a Yui and just
middle of
gone.
the dip, and he would have been like, son of a, and he's messing with the gear shift and all that. Like, I'm just saying,
And then he would
man,
have to do some weird bullshit 3-point or K turn inside those fucking.
bro.
Uh,
If he said fuck it and burst through the pillar for that, I would have been like, yo. That would have added.
I would have called
extra,
bullshit.
That would have.
I would have called bullshit.
I would have called bullshit, but that would have bumped the movie up like a half point.
That's true. It's true. Because I would have called bullshit. Because I'm like, there's no way that car was strong enough to get through a
Volkswagen
pillar.
SUV is going through a 2.5 foot thick concrete stone pillar. What? A support beam, bro.
Literally a support beam to the house.
You're telling me that's a fucking thing? Nah, but he didn't do that. I think it would have been a hell of a lot more interesting.
I would have been like, yeah, he got a.
I
Oh.
was like, oh, this man is not giving up.
He's
Like,
determined.
He's because that's the thing. These guys weren't determined, right?
They weren't.
Like, the first time like we see that guy when he's with the first dude that tried to capture Liam Neeson.
In the hospital?
No.
Or you mean the subway?
The apartment.
Oh, the apartment.
Yeah. So like you
Okay.
see, we first saw him on the subway, but I'm talking about his partner, the one that like
Oh.
survived like the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one who actually is in the car chase, yeah.
So like the first time we saw him, he kind of like chased the guy, and he's like he got played, and he kind of left.
Yeah.
And then, but he comes back to his partner being dead, and then he was like, "Oh, okay,"
Mhm.
and he just escaped. I was like, "Oh, damn, that guy got fucking fooled," and he came back, and his partner's dead. Like you did a shit job.
Mhm.
And then like the car chase, he failed. I'm like, this guy's not very good. To be fair, his
And he-
opponent is a professional assassin, but it's a professional.
But so is
assassin who
he.
lost his like memory, right? You haven't.
But so is I say so is he. He's
I
from the
know.
same group.
Exactly. So I'm just like, I needed to see more out of him to really feel the threat. 'Cause
No.
I'm like, yo, he got bopped like twice. Like he got
Yo, and the
he
one
got
dude,
crisscrossed.
the one dude from the hospital and the train station who we saw him, I was like, yo, this man loves his poison. Yo,
Yeah, bro.
man,
He tried to
tried to poison him in the hospital, had another syringe with him when they went to the apartment. My guy, poison isn't always the answer.
He's a poisoner, bro. Like it's ridiculous.
Like, I feel you. But, like, if you're going to shoot him anyway, you know what I mean?
I don't think he was gonna shoot him.
So-
I think that's the point.
You think they were going to, like, he's
The
going to
co-
try to
the-
poison him?
Yeah, because the cover story is that you're just a junkie.
Well, that was the second. That was at the end.
No, I think that was always gonna be it. That's why.
Oh, that he's just some junkie?
Yeah, he's some junkie. So they
Mm,
tried to
maybe.
poison him in the hospital. They tried to poison him at the apartment. They tried
But
to
it wouldn't have
poison him-
made sense to poison him in the hospital as, like, that cover story. Because, like,
Oh well, that could have just been like negligence by a doctor. Like it doesn't.
I guess.
it doesn't trace
It-
back to like a bullet in the head.
it doesn't.
You know?
It doesn't. No. True. But I don't know. And then I felt so satisfied knowing that the the not actual wife but wife gets blown up. So here's the thing. She's like, oh, she's trying to get through the glass or whatever to get to the bomb as they put it in the hotel, and then she goes around to the other side of the wall, right?
hmm
And I'm like, okay. I remember when she was like wasting time, like when she reached her arm and trying to reach. I'm like, why don't you just take another swing and make the hole bigger?
Word, make just try a little hard. Here's what got me tight is that she took the top of the toilet, right? You know the lid,
Hmm.
and then she
Yeah.
smashed the mirror. But she
Hmm.
literally saw Liam Neeson pick up the
Take it down.
mirror. Just take it down.
Yeah.
It's in your way. It's in your way.
unless, unless
She didn't even get through the mirror. She like cracked it and then broke the thing. And I was
yeah.
like, okay,
And I'm like, that's a brolic mirror.
it's a bro. Like I don't know how like mirror beats porcelain, but whatever. We'll talk about hardness
unless
later.
unless when he put the mirror up, it was like you wouldn't be able to take it down. Like it was kind of like it's not glue, but you know what I mean. What they used to put stuff up in like a bathroom.
uh, uh like plaster.
Yeah, maybe it was plastered on, so
I
she
mean,
couldn't just take it
didn't
down, which is
look
why.
like it, man.
But even still, you know what got me worse? I'm like, okay, but what she used for the wall was like one of those like fireplace picks, and I'm like, if you have that, why would you use that in the first place instead of the fucking porcelain top of the toilet?
Either way, it's just I feel like you weren't even trying to defuse that bomb, you know?
Yeah,
Like, I'll take care of the bomb. I mean, what are you gonna do? It's like it was like pounds and
you had a
pounds
five
of
minute timer.
word. You had 5 minutes, right? Like, I guess to stop the explosion, just cut the wire, right? But you said, "Oh, I don't want them to like trace a bomb back to me. Like they have me on video, right?
Yeah,
Like being here." But here's the thing: you're exposed anyway, right?
yeah.
The bombs, like, either the bomb does go off and you're fucked, or the bomb doesn't go off and
But now they know your
you
face anyway.
yeah, you have pounds and pounds of plastic explosives in the wall, and it's a broken wall, and people are gonna investigate. You're not getting all of that stuff out of there. You're not.
Nah,
You're not.
nah.
So
Just let it go off and
just let it go
disappear.
off, disappear. Like that's what you do best, right? Like it was a bad idea from start to finish. I was like, maybe you don't want the explosion to go off so like you don't have like murder on your hands. But I mean, either way, like you're fucked.
It
You're
was just a
fucked.
dumb move. It was a dumb move.
It's
Yeah.
terrorism versus attempted terrorism at this point. You
Also,
know?
I want to point out that like apparently this section 15 was like a very small group because it's not like oh we need to go deal with the rest of the members now. No, apparently that was all the members. It was Liam Neeson, his fake wife, the backup assassin, the leader who was like his quote unquote old friend, and the two guys who came to kill him.
Word.
That was the group.
That's it. And then Liam
So I'm
Neeson
like,
himself.
no, that
Or
was
did you?
counting Liam Neeson.
Oh, you didn't. So 6 people.
Yeah, 6 people.
That's crazy.
That's it. Like that's wild. Also, I want to point out, first off, like kudos to 6 people being able to pull off that much like espionage and everything.
That's a
Kudos,
lot.
very much, because they're doing a lot of shit, especially with like passports in the database, schools. Like they were doing a lot of shit. So I'm like, all right, kudos to you. But like, wasn't Other than that, it was a fun one time watch. That's all. Fun one time.
Word. Word.
That's about all I have to say about this movie.
I got one more thing to say.
What's that?
Could have been better.
Could
Could have been better.
have been better.
Could have been
True, true, true. with that, we'll cut this. We'll end this episode here. Thanks for watching, as always. We'll follow us on Instagram and Twitter, the _ content corner. You can get updates whenever we go live with a stream or if episode goes live, or just follow us on YouTube and Twitch. Twitch is the _ content corner as well, and for YouTube, just look us up there, the content corner. You also can find links to all of these through our Instagram and Twitter with our link tree. So if you just follow one of those, you can get access to the rest of them. Make your life so much easier. That being said, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.